Zoning is an important tool used by local governments to aid in city planning and to preserve the character of a community. Zoning is often used to separate different types of buildings that are thought to be incompatible, such as residential homes and businesses. Another type of zoning that occurs in the city of Bowling Green is the separation of single-family homes and multifamily homes within residential areas.
Gosh, I can't tell you how nice it is to be out here with some peace and quiet for a few minutes.
What do you mean?
Well, next door, there is a ton of college students that live there. I mean, there's just way too many people. And they're loud, they play stereos, and they have loud parties every weekend. I mean, we have found trash and Solo cups in our backyard.
Have you talked to their landlord? There's got to be a limit how many people can live in one house.
Well, I did. I talked to him one day. I saw him over there, and I told him about our concerns, but I mean, he just acted like I was going to have to deal with it, and as long as he gets his rent check every month, he doesn't care.
Are you serious? You've got to do something about that. Is that even legal? Maybe you should just call down to the city and see what they say.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you for meeting with me today, Brent.
Nice to meet with you today too, Amber.
Can you tell me about some of the different types of residential zones in Bowling Green and who decides how each one is zoned?
All that is handled by the Planning Commission. They're the ones that rezone property, and they actually handle the zoning of each property in Bowling Green. Under the residential classification, you have single-family zoning and multifamily zoning. And a single-family zoning means that one family can live there. And the definition of a family is no more than two unrelated people. So you could have a husband and wife and a child, or you could have a pair of roommates living there, but it's that third person which really kind of changes what the dynamic of a family is. And we have all the residential areas in Bowling Green have some type of zoning to them. Now, the zoning doesn't always go with the type of structure, and that's what causes a lot of confusion for a lot of people, is you could have a single family house that is zoned multifamily. And if it's zoned multifamily, then multiple families can live in that property. And that's an issue that we run into quite often.
How does a citizen find out what kind of zoning area they live in?
The best way to do is they can either call the Planning Commission at 842-1953, or they can go onto the city's website and look at the GIS map, and you can pull up the zoning layers, and it'll tell you what each parcel is zoned.
If I suspect that a house in my neighborhood is being used as a multifamily residence, but it was zoned as a single-family residence, who can I contact and how will that be enforced?
They would need to contact the City County Planning Commission at 842-1953, and they would work with them on getting a property rezoned. They handle all the rezonings, and then they have a public hearing in front of the Planning Commission where they go over everything, and then the Planning Commission either approves it or denies it for recommendation to the City Commission. After it's approved and it comes to the City Commission, then the City Commission is the one that actually approves the rezoning.
This is important to landlords and tenants alike, so thank you for all of this great information today.
Gosh, it's such a pretty day out here. It's like the perfect day to be outside.
I know. You know what else is perfect? The quiet.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever talk to anyone down at the city about your neighbor problem?
I did. And you know what I found out is I was right. There were way too many people living in that house that weren't related to one another. They said that in cases like that, the property owner has to bring the property back into compliance by either rezoning the property or moving the people out.
Well, I guess that landlord will think twice before he lets a bunch of college students move into a house like that.
I hope so.
For more information about zoning regulations, call the Neighborhood and Community Services Department at 393-3000 or visit bgky.org.